everyone, Big Pauly back for the first What's in the Poundland bin of 2020. That's right. I wonder how many will fit in 1 year. Should be 52, but you know me, probably be about 20. Right, anyway, let's stop waffling. So we're going to dig down deep into the bin and pluck out something worthwhile from the horrible, dusty, grimy depths of hell. In other words, the bottom of the bin. Okie dokie, right, let's find out what we're going to pick for the first film of 2020. Oh wow, yes. I've been to the cinema twice this month. 2 absolute corking films. Fantastic Jojo Rabbit and the Gentleman, and I'm seeing 1917 in a couple of days. Not 2020, but 1917. So we're on a roll to watch fantastic films in January. January's usually plastered with crap films, but so far doing really well. Right, so we need a really good one. Right, okie dokie, let's find out what it's going to be.
What's in the Poundland bin?
Hello, Poundland bin, and how was your Christmas? You didn't get me anything for Christmas. Yes, I did. I got you a couple of Blu-rays from Poundland. Now shut up, you git. Are you ready then, folks? Here we go. First spin of 2020. Oh dear, here we go then. Right down the bottom. We gotta go down the bottom. Oh, God blimey, it looks like, feels like someone's actually been in here. Who's been in here? Okie dokie, I've got something. Oh, that didn't half look good. All my Blu-rays all lined up. Wow. Okie dokie, oh, I've got something and it's sealed. Okie dokie, yes. It's sealed. It's sealed. What is it going to be? So I know, stop singing and bloody find out. Right, let's have a look, see what it's going to be. Oh, I can feel a sticker as well. Is it upside down? No, it's not. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Butler is at his tough as nails best. From the director of The Kite Runner and Monsters Ball. Gerard Butler in Machine Gun Preacher. I take it he's a preacher with a machine gun. Tells the inspirational true story of Sam Childers, a former drug-dealing criminal who undergoes an astonishing transformation and finds his unexpected calling as the saviour of hundreds of kidnapped and orphaned children in war-torn Sudan. Just what we want, a depressing story about orphans and starving children. Okay, right. Well, it says it's superb on the front there. Look, superb. Okay, right. Okay, let's stick it in the player. I've never seen it before, so don't know what to expect. Let's find out who this machine gun preacher is. Oh, yes, I'm preaching to you. Hallelujah. Okay, so we have the wrapping off Machine Gun Preacher. Right, okie dokie. No digital codes or anything, but we have some artwork. Same as on the cover. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. And we have a lovely clean disc. Fantastic. Okie dokie. Hello, Master Yoda. What are you holding down there? Beam or Yoda? Oh, we'll have to read some stories to your audience soon, won't we? Git. Okie dokie. Open up the player. In she goes. Machine Gun Preacher. And close it. Let's watch Machine Gun Preacher. Okay, so disc is in, ready to spin. I haven't got anything to eat. That's a first. I've just had my dinners. But I do have my Walking Dead drink. with some lovely Fanta fruit twist, I think it is. Yes, that's very nice. Right, okay, let's watch Machine Gun Preacher. Wouldn't really work if you had a baseball bat, would it?
2 hours later.
Okay, so Machine Gun Preacher, starring Gerard Butler. Yes, good casting, really good casting. This is based on a true story of Sam Childers, who was actually a bit of a nasty piece of work to start with. You know, drug dealing, armed robbery, druggy, gangster, everything that you get from one of the characters from Sons of Anarchy. You could be wrapped up into this character. And one day an incident causes him to reevaluate his life, and basically he finds God. I don't know where he was, but he must have been hiding somewhere. Yes, and he turns to Christianity. He sets up this big old church in his hometown, but he also hears about the struggles that they're having out in the South Sudan, you know, with his big warlord, and all the kids being killed and raped and dismembered and all the usual kind of shit that happens out there. So he decides to go out there, have a look. He does actually decide to build a church out there, and he sees the many horrors of these, you know, these children trying to survive, and he makes it one of his purposes to actually save as many of these children as he can. Even though he's found God and he's found Christianity, he's still pretty handy with a machine gun. Hence the title, Machine Gun Preacher. Yes, so he builds a church out there. Occasionally you'll get these warlord soldiers coming, trying to destroy it. He has to protect it as best as he can. He's got the support of the local freedom fighter army out there. And yeah, and that's basically the story. It does deviate back and forth. So, you know, when he's finished out there in Sudan, he'll come back to his home, the struggles back home, you know, with his daughter and the family life back home. And then he'll go back out there again. And it really does start to affect him. It really does affect him when he sees the atrocities and the really nasty things that's happening out in South Sudan. And you do see some of the really bad atrocities out there with children piled high and burnt and dismembered and all that kind of stuff. And it brings him down so much. It affects his life back home. To be perfectly honest, towards near the end of the film, he really doesn't give a shit about anything back home. He needs to get more money to get out there to carry on building as much as he can of this church, schoolyard and things like that to protect these children. He needs new cars, probably new weaponry, and yeah, it does affect him. So yeah, sometimes it is a bit of a hard watch. It is emotional. It is quite an emotional film in certain places. It's also uplifting as well in other, you know, in other areas. But all in all, it's a really good watch. The story is really good. The acting is first rate. Probably one of Gerard Butler's probably best performances that I've seen him in. For the first 25 minutes of the film, he's a total arse. He's a total dick, I suppose, you know, because he has to portray how Sam was at that time, that point of in his life, after he'd come out of prison. So, and he was on a spiralling down path. So, it's pretty in your face at times. So yes, so I did enjoy it. As I say, the acting was top notch, especially from Gerard Butler. The picture quality is pretty good. Obviously being set mostly in like Africa and, you know, the Sudan. You've got lots of deserted landscapes and trees and sand and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes it can look really dirty and gritty. So it's not a bright film. It's not a bright film. There is a noticeable layer of grain, though. I mean, there's no problem with the picture sharpness, but there is a noticeable level of grain throughout the film. So if you don't like grain, you might not like it. The audio is DTS HD Master Audio 5.1, which upscaled it to Neuro on my amp. There's nothing really special about it. Nothing really special about the surrounds. There is a good use of bass so far as like any explosions are concerned or the machine gun fire, but it's an average soundtrack. It is 129 minutes long. There are no extras whatsoever. Now, at the end of the film, they actually did tell you a bit about Sam, and they actually had some real-life video and photographs of him out in Africa, photographs of the kids and things that, you know, daily routines that they go through. So that was quite nice. It would have been nice to actually have maybe a feature-length documentary all about it on here, with lots of actual footage. But shame that there's actually no extras on the disc. But all in all, yes, I enjoyed it. As I say, it was a little bit teary in places, very emotional, but uplifting as well in places. But yeah, not a bad film. So how would I rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm gonna give Machine Gun Preacher, I'll give it 7.5. So pretty good score. Like I say, it didn't bore me. I was entertained, even though it was very emotional, you know, throughout the film. So yes, 7.5 out of 10. Had I not actually watched the film, I wouldn't have known anything about it. And it's a shame because Sam Childers is one of those extraordinary people that you get from time to time, that turn their life around from a complete mess to something quite special, and help a lot of people. I mean, over 300 children currently living with them in the Sudan. It's probably more than that now, but he saved so many lives of what would have been destroyed, giving them hope. So yeah, so God bless him. God bless Sam Childers. So yeah, so I'm glad I watched it because it opened my eyes, and now I know the name Sam Childers. So what am I going to do with it? Am I going to stick it on the shelf, find some space somewhere, or is it going to go down in the recycling bin to join Dad's army? Oh God. Well, as you can see, there's the old recycling bin. What we got Dad's army. I think we've got a couple of leaflets in there as well, and all kinds of shit. I don't think this actually deserves to go down into the recycling bin. It was a very entertaining film, and it actually deserves respect to be kept. So I'm happy to have that on the shelf. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of What's in the Poundland Bin. Again, another good film for January. We're really rocking it this January. Brilliant. And hopefully we'll have another one next week. But like the video by giving it some thumbs up. Don't forget to share. Comment if you've seen the film, if you liked it or if you didn't like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you all on the next video. Goodbye!